not intended that this program becomes an exhaustive study on all printing problems, just some of the everyday problems you may encounter. While we spoke about feeding problems, here we intend to concentrate on that situation where paper is feeding but is not accurately positioned in the lays, causing sheets to misregister. The first item we might check is the squareness of the front lays. It's usually safer to move the plate to square the print rather than move the lays. Next, how are the sheet smoothers on the feed board for clearance? These are intended to steady the sheet in its travel, but mustn't prevent its free movement. Sliding a sheet beneath each smoother will quickly indicate whether the setting is correct. Similarly, is the double sheet detector correctly set, or is the wheel spinning as the sheet passes beneath? This too can hinder the passage of the sheet to the lays. Next, and quite importantly, how is the side lay push clearance? Not too good here, it would seem. How can a sheet register when the side lay is coming down on it? When correctly set, there should be at least a 2 mm push clearance between sheet and side lay drop-down position. This allows for the sideways wobble of sheets coming down the feed board. While it's a hard thing to quantify, many would agree that side lay push clearance, or lack of it, is the most common cause of misregister on the GTO. Clearance of another nature needs to be checked on the side lay too, that of its cover clearance. The cover plate should be adjusted here so that the sheet can have the cover plate slide over it without allowing the sheet to bulge when the side lay moves against it. This setting is usually achieved by setting the cover plate so that 2 sheets of paper can be moved beneath without hindrance. We're assuming that misfeeding caused by sticking sheets will be picked up by your own problem-solving skills. However, this is how you pick out the sticking sheet. Take some sheets off the stack to be loaded. Hold them in the bow shape, then let one end go. And you'll see any stuck sheets as an S profile, a useful time-saving trick. Now let's look at problems associated with faulty ink moisture balance. First to consider is catch-up, or simply absence of sufficient moisture. So you're going to add water. Should we turn the water feed up? No. Your rollers might simply have dried out a little. Once you get running again, you'll be running too wet. How about cranking the moisture on by hand? No. You've only got catch-up in the middle, the rest is okay. So when you've got the middle right, you'll be running wet elsewhere. Use your water squeeze bottle and only where you need it. Normally, you'll cure the problem at the lack of water stage. But let's imagine that we've done all this and catch-up persists. We've got to look further. Is the damper roller contacting the plate surface? Let's check by placing the finger on the damper adjustment. We should feel a slight bounce as the grip edge of the plate moves beneath the damper roller. If we've established damper settings are correct and damper nap is adequate, then we are left with one other option. The non-image area of the plate has become ink receptive. The plate will need to be cleaned and gummed. This should finally cure the problem. The plate cleaner used here is an homogeneous blend of chemicals that simultaneously restores water receptivity to the metal while removing ink from the plate. Remember, if you want trouble-free printing, your plate must have an acceptable sheen of moisture on it like this. Not dry like this, or swimming like this. Remember, once the press is started, always check for correct moisture before lowering the inkers. This helps maintain your ink moisture balance.